Yeah, I've been thinking about upping my game a little bit. I gotta get down into some of them bedrock locations. I figured, well, why not grab this here steam drill that they got jabbed in this little slab of rock here and try my luck at that. That's how I'm gonna get nuggets around here, I think. That's quite the little piece of machinery right there, huh? Yeah, that just jabbing right into this big slab. That baby's state of the art. All you boys over in Australia getting them big nuggets, watch out. Hey, welcome back. We are on location. Yeah, a few videos back, one of my viewers asked if I could do a brief video on what exactly I'm looking for when I go prospecting, you know, per se on this creek here, for instance. So that's what I'm going to do today. And on this particular creek, I have filmed here in the past, and I thought today that I would walk. Pretty much the creek goes into a big river right over there. So this is basically the start of the bottom of the creek. You know, it's coming upstream here. So let's start here and we'll work our way up that way and wind up where I want to do some panning today. So right here, I'm kind of standing on a, you know, you're running a mill island and there's nothing in particular so that I would look for. So I'm gonna head it right on up this way here, and I mean, right as soon as you get off of that island and the creek turns into one solid body of water, you can already tell, you can already see some areas that you would want to be working. You know, here's a big rock in the creek here, and some light sands behind there, and on the back side, let me get over this here. You know, there's some nice gravels down inside of there, and they kind of continue up the creek here, and this is as you can see, a big inside bend right here next to Rigby there, and it heads up that way. So I know there's gold in this creek and good gold for around here, and let's take a little look at this inside bend, for instance here. If you'll notice, you know, it's zipping around here, and it's depositing materials, the lighter materials on the tight inside of the bend here. You see this light wash and leaves and other debris that you're not going to find out in the flow a little bit more. So a good spot I would like to look would be right, maybe not right on the crest of the inside bend, but slightly back just a little bit, and I'll show you why. All right. Okay. So here comes that creek from up there, and it's coming around, and the bend starts right here, and it's coming around and coming around. All of a sudden, there's a couple of big rocks right here, and there's some larger materials piled up right there. Well, all of a sudden they get just a little bit smaller and turn sandier, and a little bit lighter gravels right here. You can see them. I would dig like right about where that big rock settled out right there to right here. I probably wouldn't go that way any further. I mean, that's just absolute mud and really super light silt and wash, and you're not going to find much in there. You may find it out here a little bit further, and I'll show you that too. Now right here is all that mush I was telling you about, and there's some roots or whatever, and all of a sudden you'll see it transition down in there to gravels. Right there. Goes right from the mush right into gravels off of that inside corner maybe a foot and a half. I would concentrate like right on that line right there. Okay, so that's one spot I would definitely try. Let me get up the stream or the creek here a little bit further, and I know there's some really good examples of decent spots I would take another look. So be back in a bit. There. Well, I made it back to my claim. There's a couple claim jumpers here. George and Dave they're back here getting my gold out of my spot. That's okay though, there's plenty to go around. So I think what we're gonna do is we got a few more people coming today. I'm gonna go upstream a little further here and see if we can locate another good spot. Keep the guys spread out a little bit. So I'll be back in a bit. Alrighty. We came up the creek here just a little bit further. And we came across another little island right here. There's the water coming down at me that way and this way. And it looks like the creek is going back and off in that way there. So I've got a pretty decent, most of the flow is on the right hand side here. And I've got a pretty decent inside bend right here. So let's take a look at the material that's building up around it. Let me get my big fat ugly finger out of the way. All right. And this actually looks, it looks pretty darn good to me. We've got a really nice mix of good sized gravels in here, and it's got to come up and over the top of this big log right here when the flow is getting going, and it's depositing all this kind of light wash sand and stuff in there, and there's some bigger cobbles up in there, and I'm going to show you something. Look at this dead zone right here, the same as it was down in that down in the first one we looked at. Here's that real light silty just muck, and then as you work your way a little bit closer to the upstream side of this inside bend, it turns into gravels, nice little black gravels here, heavy rocks. Let me get across this here. All right, and then right up in here you can see it again. The real light stuff is getting dropped out up in here in the lighter flow area, the little lower pressure area, and then it just drops right off into these big black cobbles. And you'd want to, this little flower gold, you'd want to concentrate your efforts in this type of material right here, in these medium-sized cobbles that follow along the edge of this inside bend. And as you can see here, there's another. Oh, I'm gonna go and check that out. Look at that spot right there. That creek's coming way around, and it's dropping off material right down into that hole right there. I'm definitely gonna try that. This whole area here looks good to me. I've got my stuff downstream a little ways, and I will get to it, but for now I'm gonna head upstream just with my camera and Rigby, and we are gonna locate a few more spots. Back in a bit. Ooh, it is super spooky back here. I come off into the woods here a little bit just to make it a little bit easier walking. There a lot of down trees in the creek over there. It looked easier up here, but it's kind of hard to tell on this here camera, but it's kind of dark and spooky back here. I got my bear destroyer over there though, so I ain't worried about that. I just wanted to show you. Back in a bit. You know what I would like to also include when I'm prospecting, that I'm looking for particular rocks. In quartz and in any kind of mineralized material specifically. Reason being, most of this material will have come from the gold fields up in Canada that the glaciers run over and they push down here. Now, you know, whether the glaciers stopped here or they just kind of kept rolling through, I'm not 100% sure, but there's plenty of glaciated material here, and I know that they drop gold here. That's where the gold's coming from. Now, if I start seeing larger quantities of say quartz, like that piece right there, and that right there, and there's a whole nice little pile of quartz right there, and I can see lots of sparkly mica, which tells me that's all mineralized. There's a lot of mineralized material in here. See all that mica in there showing up. And then as I move down or upstream here just a little bit, I can see more quartz. There's a great big one right there, and there's another nice one there. And you know, the quartz around here isn't gonna have gold in it, gold deposits in it, you know, for the most part. So you know that this stuff came from somewhere. Well, now whether it has gold in it or not, I don't know, but this creek does have plenty of gold in it. So that's just another thing that I'm kind of watching for, you know, other than your inside bends and, you know, your typical log and your typical dog. Back in a bit. Our first spot that I'm gonna stick my shovel in. Anytime you ever see a big dead log like this hanging over your head, you always want to work right directly underneath it. Right? Always. Wait. Never? Wait. Check that. Never work underneath big dead logs like that. Sorry about that. But anyway, let me show you where I'm going to sink my shovel as I walk under that big log. I like this spot right here. I like it. All right, this here creek is coming around. It goes back that way there. And it's zipping around, and look at right here. It's coming over a really old log that's been there for quite some time, going all the way across. And it's depositing, you know, material like a riffle would in a certain fashion. And all right here, it's going to be quite a heavy flow, but over in this area and over in this area, you got a little bit lighter flow, and it does it again. It comes back this way, and here's another one. I mean, talk about riffles right up to the shore too, and then there's another one right behind it, and another one right behind it. So I'm going to take my shovel, and I'm going to show you some of the material here. Look at these lines where it's all light material there, and then it goes into a little bit bigger stuff here, and then there's some light material. Look at the current, what it's doing right here. A little bit lighter flow, a little bit heavier flow, and then out here it's quite a bit heavier flow, and then I'm into bigger cobbles like this, which there are hardly any of up there except the ones that it probably can never move, like this one here. That's a pretty big one there, real big. I can't quite move it, but yeah, well, we'll get to that. So I'm going to dig in there a little bit on the back side of these riffles, and I especially want to dig my shovel into there, probably over in there. I don't think I'll be able to keep any material on from that, but I've had good luck with little waterfalls like that in the past. And if you notice on the left side over here, where this is coming down, it's turning into a big pile of mush with all that high water. Just took everything off, and that's all real light wash and silt. I mean, you can see that the suds aren't even moving. It's such a light flow in there, you know. So I wouldn't want to dig none of that in there. So let me get my shovel going, and we'll be right back. All right. Well, what I'm going to try to do is locate some black sands in here. That's going to be the key to finding gold in this creek. It always has been. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to work one way. And if I don't find what I'm looking for, I'll go back to that starting spot, and I'll go towards the shore, perpendicular to the creek. That'll give me the layout of where the heavies are being deposited in the creek, you know, left and right, up and down in the column of the material up at, you know, light, heavy, heaviest, whatever. So, you know, it's just, there's no 1 + 1 = 2. There, you know, it's just it's a combination of luck and kind of, you know, knowing a little bit where to look, but you know, it's just a lot of looking. So let's get to it. All right, who wants to see something really exciting? The answer to that question would be me. All right, before I show you that gold, that pan, I'm going to show you where I was digging. Now, I started over in here where I thought, you know, there might be a little bit of gold being deposited, you know, on the edge of where that real light material is, and these obviously heavier bands of material here. Well, I didn't find anything in any of that there. I went in right behind this log right here, this little sets of log, and I dug right in there. And I was pulling out, I got some big rocks, you know, the type that, you know, you can just get in your hand out of right in there. Let me see if I can get some of that material to show up on the camera here a little bit. Well, I found something exciting. Now I had to switch. I saw a couple of small pieces in my green pan because I was using that to right off the get-go, and so I immediately went and grabbed my black one, threw it all in there, and then I safety panned it back into there. And look at this. Oh, look at that. There is some bubbles. Whee. Look at that there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces. 9 pieces in one, count them, one shovel. That's my best ever panning anywhere, if I'm not mistaken. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going over there, right over there. And we're going to pound a bunch of material through this baby here. And then I'm going to put it in that there container there and get it somewhere where I can really take my time and get the gold out of it. I've never seen gold like that in this creek, just panning like that. I mean, a little bit down there where I found that one really good spot, which, by the way, there's a whole bunch of people at right now because we're kind of at a little outing. But I'm up here, and I'm not telling them where. Back in a bit. Change of plans. I'm still finding gold in there. However, as I dug a little bit deeper, I'm allowing more current to come up from underneath those logs, and it's blowing it off my darn shovel this way. So we're coming back here next week to this creek for an outing. I'm kind of here filling in for my buddy Ryan, who had to work out of town, and he was going to bring some people here, so I kind of told him I'd do it. Well, next week's my turn, so I'm going to be bringing the guys back to this creek. And I'm definitely coming up here with my sluice, which is in the shop right now, getting a special attachment put on it. And I'm going to bring that down here, and I'm going to work this whole area here because there's gold to be had here. I'll probably have to dam off the upstream side of this stuff here so I can get my material out of here without it blowing off my shovel. And I'm going to work all this. There's a nice big hunk of like a bar right here with some big material. Who knows, maybe there's some bigger stuff in there. I've been surprised before. So I'm gonna head her back to down the creek a ways there and see who all showed up. I just wanted to come up here and do a little prospecting, but we did find another nice spot. Well, we made it back to the shop. It was a fun day. I got the video done that I wanted to get done. Kind of showing the places I like to look before I throw a shovel in the ground. And there's plenty of places to look. I mean, inside bends, drops in elevation, logs going across the creek, high benches, you know, gravel bars and rock bars in the creek itself. You just got to check them out. There's no formula, like I said. You got to get in there and just get a shovel dirty. I wish I could have had my sluice back in there today, but that spot isn't going anywhere. That's going to be a good spot, I think. I think I'm going to pick my sluice up this coming week. It's getting a special attachment. And don't miss that, because I think we're going to get some great gold out of that hole next week. So until the next episode, like, share, subscribe, hit that thumb, please. And please do leave that comment. I really appreciate them. Flower Gold Wizards, out.